Dear friend, this is an exercise inspired to heal false patterns about gender. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Put one hand on your chest and the other hand on your stomach. Breathe in through your nose. The hand on your stomach should rise. The hand on your chest should move very little. Exhale through your mouth, pushing out as much air as you can. Continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Try to inhale enough so that your lower abdomen rises and falls. Be gentle as you exhale. Now set the intention of understanding unity between the two genders, between masculine and feminine energies of oneself. Pray to Spirit, the primary source of creation, to give you the clarity to recognize both feminine and masculine energies in you. Pray to Spirit to allow you to appreciate the gifts of both masculine and feminine energies and to bring to your consciousness the wounds of both genders. Allow yourself to realize that your soul and everybody's soul has traversed times using various physical vessels during its various incarnations as a man or as a woman. Allow yourself to dive into the knowledge of unity and heal old patterns about sex through understanding. Pray to Spirit to give you a deeper knowing of the non-gender-based nature of the soul. Say, I call upon the archangels and their twin souls to assist me in this journey of understanding that gender does not exist in the spiritual world, that we all hold both energies within us, and that we constantly shift from one to the other. Now close your eyes and see through the eyes of your soul. You notice a beam of light at the distance, a sparkling golden light that becomes bigger and bigger. You notice a figure coming out towards you, getting out of this marvelous shining field of timelessness and approaching you. He, for there could be no doubt of his sex, though the fashion of the time did something to disguise it, was 16 only, and too young to ride with his father or grandfather in Africa or France. He would steal away from his mother and the peacocks in the garden and go to his attic room and there lunge and plunge and slice the air with his blade. Sometimes he cut the cord so that the skull bumped on the floor and he had to string it up again, fastening it with some chivalry almost out of reach, so that his enemy grinned at him through shrunk, black lips triumphantly. Take a good look at this 16-year-old boy and merge with his extraordinary figure. The shapely legs, the handsome body, and the well-set shoulders were all of them decorated with various tints of heraldic light, and Orlando's face, as he threw the window open, was lit solely by the sun itself. A more candid, sullen face it would be impossible to find. Happy the mother who bears, happier still the biographer who records the life of such a one. The red of the cheeks was covered with peach down. The down on the lips was only a little thicker than the down on the cheeks. The lips themselves were short and slightly drawn back over teeth of an exquisite and almond whiteness. Nothing disturbed the arrowy nose in its short, tense flight. The hair was dark, the ears small and fitted closely to the head. But alas, that these catalogues of youthful beauty cannot end without mentioning forehead and eyes. Alas, that people are seldom born devoid of all three. For directly we glance at Orlando standing by the window, we must admit that he had eyes like drenched violets, so large that the water seemed to have brinked in them and widened them, and a brow like the swelling of a marble dome pressed between the two blank medallions, which were his temples. The boy Orlando approaches you, offering you a smile from the bottom of his heart. He knows that he will grow to be a loving and compassionate man, earthy and loyal, trustworthy and witty, or who knows what else. Directly we glance at eyes and forehead, thus do we rhapsodize. Directly we glance at eyes and forehead, we have to admit 1,000 disagreeables, which it is the aim of every good biographer to ignore. Take a moment to dive into timelessness. Breathe in and out gently. Meanwhile, the long winter months draw on. You notice everything is now different. You feel the weather itself, the heat and cold of summer and winter of another temper altogether. The brilliant, amorous day is divided as sheerly from the night as land from water. Sunsets are now redder and more intense. Dawns are now whiter and more auroral. The rain falls vehemently or not at all. The sun blazes or there is darkness. Translating this to the spiritual regions, you feel how beautifully roses fade and petals fall. The moment is brief. The moment is over. One long night is to be slept by all. You keep your eyes closed, and you see in front of you Orlando's figure. As time has passed over her body, you notice the same intact beauty of hers, the same sparkle in the eyes, the same genuine heart, and the same perception of the self. Orlando is still in contact with the same source as previously. She is now that same light being as before. You look at her face. With some of the guineas left from the sale of the 10th pearl on her string, Orlando bought herself a complete outfit of such clothes as women then wore, and it was in the dress of a young Englishwoman of rank that she now sat on the deck of the ship. It is a strange fact, but a true one, that up to this moment she had scarcely given her sex a thought. At any rate, it was not until she felt the coil of skirts about her legs, and the captain offered, with the greatest politeness, to have an awning spread for her on deck, that she realized with a start the penalties and the privileges of her position. In normal circumstances, a lovely young woman alone would have thought of nothing else. The whole edifice of female government is based on that foundation stone. Chastity is their jewel, their centerpiece, which they run mad to protect and die when ravished of. But if one has been a man for so many years or so, one does not perhaps give such a very great start about that. The young woman Orlando is now just one step away from you. She looks straight into your eyes, and she reflects all the loving power, a deep ocean of emotions, the womb of life. She dives into your sight and clears away old patterns and beliefs about genders. She says, "I am him." Nobody indeed ever accused her of being one of those quick wits who run to the end of things in a minute. It took her the entire length of the timeless voyage to moralize out the meaning of her start, and so, at her own pace, we will follow her. Lord, she thought, stretching herself out at length under her awning, this is a pleasant, lazy way of life, to be sure. Orlando is getting even closer to you now and gives you a hug. As you are in her arms, take some time to understand all stereotypes and beliefs that need to be released. She holds you and transmutes every social label, thought form, unnecessary belief pattern, conditional thinking about male and female energies. She allows the shining light to penetrate your body through her loving hands. She allows to be a vessel of understanding. She invites spirit to pass through this hug to your consciousness and thereafter to global consciousness. Orlando is the eternal soul, the merge of the two into oneness. Take a deep breath and allow the light and warmth of Orlando to get into your every cell. Take a moment of reflection on your own male and female moments, on your feminine and masculine energies. Take another deep breath and deepen your understanding on social gender, stereotypes, and gender roles. With the next out-breath, release all thought forms and erroneous beliefs that relate to genders. Ask from your spiritual guides to give you a message now. As you give yourself time to say goodbye to Orlando, you thank her for the generosity of this hug and for the opportunity of this deeper knowing. She vanishes into the mist. Know that you can always come back to Orlando and to the understanding of the timeless soul whenever you wish to. Before starting to come back to your physical body, give yourself some time to thank Spirit for allowing this connection to your timeless and genderless soul. Spirit supports you at this time of transmutation of old beliefs and patterns. Know that the One is the One since the beginning of time.